Hello and welcome back to Ace Book Talk, where we delve into timeless classics and uncover their enduring wisdom. Today, we're returning our attention to a novel that ignited a nation, fueled a movement, and continues to spark conversation, Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Harriet Beecher Stowe was born into a prominent family of preachers and reformers in 1811. Witnessing firsthand the deep divisions over slavery in the United States, she felt a moral obligation to speak out against what she saw as a grave injustice. While living in Cincinnati, Ohio, a border state between freedom and slavery, Stowe encountered fugitive slaves and learned about the realities of their lives through personal accounts and observations. These experiences profoundly affected her and formed the basis for her powerful narrative. Uncle Tom's Cabin was initially published in serial form in 1851 and then as a complete novel in 1852. The book's impact was immediate and immense, selling hundreds of thousands of copies in its first year and becoming a bestseller both in the United States and abroad. The story centers around Uncle Tom, a deeply religious and morally upright slave living on a Kentucky farm owned by the Kindred family. Tom is a beloved figure, respected for his unwavering faith and his ability to bring comfort and guidance to others. However, Mr. Kindred faces financial difficulties and is forced to sell Tom and a young boy named Harry to a slave trader. This separation marks the beginning of Tom's harrowing journey through the cruel realities of the slave system. Harry's mother, Eliza, overhears the plans to sell her son and makes the courageous decision to escape with him. Her dramatic flight across the Ohio River, a scene of desperate hope and determination, became one of the most iconic moments in the novel. Eliza's journey to freedom is fraught with danger, but she is aided by sympathetic abolitionists who provide her with shelter and guidance. Meanwhile, Uncle Tom is sold to a series of owners, each representing a different facet of the slave system's brutality. He first finds himself in the hands of Augustine St. Clair, a kind but ineffectual man who grapples with the moral implications of slavery but ultimately fails to take decisive action against it. St. Clair's young daughter, Eva, is an angelic figure who embodies innocence and compassion. She forms a deep bond with Tom and recognizes his inherent goodness. Eva's untimely death deeply affects St. Clair, and he briefly considers emancipating Tom, but his own tragic death prevents him from fulfilling this promise. Tom is then sold to Simon Legree, a vicious and sadistic plantation owner who represents the absolute worst of the slave system. Legree is a cruel tyrant who delights in inflicting pain and suffering on his slaves. Despite the horrific conditions and the constant abuse, Tom refuses to compromise his faith or his principles. He remains steadfast in his belief in God and his commitment to doing what is right, even in the face of death. He protects other slaves from Legree's wrath, even at his own peril, embodying the principles of selflessness and sacrifice. The novel also follows the stories of other enslaved people, highlighting their diverse experiences and the varying degrees of cruelty within the system. We see the bonds of family and community forged in the face of adversity, the struggles for freedom, and the resilience of the human spirit. Characters like George Harris, Eliza's husband, demonstrate the determination to fight for their own liberation and to create a better future for their families. Ultimately, Uncle Tom's Cabin is a powerful indictment of the dehumanizing effects of slavery and a passionate plea for its abolition. It explores themes of morality, religion, family, and the inherent dignity of all human beings. While the novel has been criticized for its sentimentalism and for certain stereotypes, its historical significance and its impact on the abolitionist movement cannot be denied. What lessons can we draw from Uncle Tom's Cabin today? First, It reminds us of the importance of empathy and compassion. Stowe encourages us to see the humanity in others, regardless of their background or circumstances. By understanding the experiences of those who are different from us, we can build bridges of understanding and work towards a more just and equitable world. Second, the novel highlights the power of individual action. While systemic change is essential, Uncle Tom's Cabin demonstrates that one person's voice and actions can make a difference. Stowe's book sparked a national conversation and contributed to a growing movement for abolition. It reminds us that we all have a responsibility to speak out against injustice and to work towards a better world. Third, Uncle Tom Cabin emphasizes the importance of moral courage. Uncle Tom's unwavering faith and his commitment to doing what is right, even in the face of death, serve as an inspiration to us all. It reminds us that true strength lies not in physical power but in the courage to stand up for our beliefs, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Finally, the novel underscores the enduring power of hope. Despite the horrors of slavery, the characters in Uncle Tom's Cabin never lose sight of their hope for a better future. They find strength in their faith, in their families, and in their communities. Their resilience reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope can be a source of strength and a catalyst for change. That's all for today's discussion on Uncle Tom's Cabin. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of a novel that changed the course of history. Be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts on the book and subscribe for more book recommendations. Thanks for watching.